Welcome back to our coverage from CEDIA 2010, and we're going to look at a product here which we looked at back in January in our visit to THX, and I'm with Andrew Poulin again. Andrew, great to see you.
Good to see you, Phil.
We're talking about the integrated subwoofer, and we've got a version of it here. Now it's been improved, so tell us a little bit about the technology.
Yeah, well, there's a few different things that we set out to do. One is, as everybody knows, subwoofers can be big, they're bulky. You may not be able to place them in your house in the right location, so we wanted to develop an in-wall subwoofer that had tremendous output, the frequency response that we're looking for, but it solves a number of issues. You don't want wall vibrations. You don't want to localize the source. So we developed some technologies that are integrated into it. The first one is what we call our slot speaker technology. And what that does is we actually fire, or the output of the drivers are loaded into a slot, and then that slot is the radiating area of the speaker, if you will. And then we use another technology called a balanced baseline. The balanced baseline basically ensures uniform distribution of energy throughout the slot. So you're not getting a beaming pattern, if you will, or lobing effects where the loudspeakers are interacting with each other. You get just one consistent uniform output. So there's a couple things that happen with the product. One of them is that the drivers themselves are facing each other and they move in the opposite direction. They have the same polarity, if you will, but because they move in the opposite direction, they force cancel out any mechanical vibrations. So when the system is installed between a couple of wall joists, if you will, it's not going to introduce vibrations into the wall system, so you're not going to get distracting resonances, which you would hear as distortions, then you might localize to that point.
Now, this is ideal for, let's just say, the users out there who they don't want this big 18-inch subwoofer sitting in the living room, for instance. Is there a difference in terms of pricing of the technology if they wanted to install something like this compared to, say, an 18-inch good quality subwoofer? Is it more expensive to hide it away in the wall?
No, I think if you start looking at the product prices in comparison, they're reasonably equitable. So if you wanted the big 18-inch subwoofer, there's no reason why you couldn't do it. This is about the same price point. What this gives you is a tremendous amount of convenience that an 18-inch subwoofer doesn't give you. You don't have this big, large box in the middle of the way. You can actually discreetly hide this within the wall. Installation costs are going to be a little bit higher because you're going to have to build this into the wall. You're going to have to cover the front of it with a layer of drywall and then put the screen on the front of it, so it looks pleasant, if you will.
And of course, I mean, a lot of our viewers out there are English, Scottish. Our houses aren't built like your houses are out here.
Sure.
So how do we incorporate this type of technology into traditionally built stone houses?
Yeah, you know what, it could be done a number of ways. One, it could be simply framed out and put against the wall. It doesn't necessarily have to be integrated into the wall. It actually can sit in front of the wall itself, and then you can just treat it aesthetically however you want to deal with it that way. So, and then at that point, you still get the same performance out of the product. It's just going to stick out a couple inches from the wall as opposed to a couple feet if you have a large box.
So look, it's a fascinating product. We heard it back in January when we visited your demonstration facilities up in San Rafael. We're looking at it here at CEDIA. It's a nice little product. So who manufactures this and how can people find out a little bit more?
Sure, it's manufactured from a company called BG Radia. We designed it for them. They do all the manufacturing of the product. They have this larger version that you can see here to my right. And one of the new improvements that we made with this is a scaled down version of it. It's the same performance characteristics. There's just less drive units in each module, so it takes up a smaller footprint vertically.
Okay, so you want to hide the subwoofer away? This is something for you to consider. And like Andrew was saying, it's been designed by THX, so you know that quality control is there. Come back and see us for more videos from CEDIA 2010 very soon.